Hey folks, thank you, Kenny. That was awesome. Thank you. I'm now hyped for myself, which is crazy. Welcome to Things from the Flood. As Kenny said, this is the 90s that couldn't happen, shouldn't happen, never did, probably would. Let's find out. I've got some awesome players with me. So let's start. I think if we go looking at so my screen doesn't match the overlay. All right, let's start with Maddie. Introduce yourself for us.
Hello, I'm Maddie. My pronouns are she, her, and today I'm going to be playing Kenneth, whose pronouns are he, him, and who is a seeker.
So in Things from the Flood, like Tales from the Loop, every character has an archetype. Can you just tell folks what a seeker does?
So a seeker is all about finding out what the truth is, and Kenneth's particular brand of that is new agey kind of spiritual stuff.
Following Maddie, who wants to go next? Sunny.
Hi.
How you? Tell us about your character and tell us about yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Sunny. I go by they, he pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Jasper. He, him pronouns. He is a snob. So basically, I have a free pass to be rude to everyone, and that's it. That's fantastic. No, that's it. He is a spoiled little kid who is honestly just trying his best, and I decided to do it. This is what he looks like, not me.
I think we should maybe at some point on Twitter, because the cast have all got some fabulous pictures that are very secret right now in a secret Discord chat. Maybe in the future in Twitter we'll share those pictures. So you can all see why we think Sunny's cosplay is brilliant. Anybody volunteer next, or should I pick on somebody else? Pick. There's a face there. There's a face there. Shifu.
Hi, I'm Krifu. Pronouns
Sorry,
are...
my bad.
No, it happens. It's literally a 50-50 chance of which way the CH is going to sound. Krifu, my pronouns are he, him. And today I am playing Roger, the party animal. Pronouns are also he, him. He's a theater kid, a singer, works in a coffee shop, and is generally a loud mouth, trying to be the center of attention.
All right, I've got 50-50 on who's going next. Anybody volunteer? Go. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Adamari, he, him. I'll be playing Alexander. Also he, him. Alexander is a rocker. He plays electric guitar in a band, and he definitely takes the art of the music much more seriously than any of his bandmates.
Excellent. Which last, but by no means least, Sophia, could you introduce yourself and your wonderful character?
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm go by the pronoun she, her, and I'm playing Treasure today, and she's the jock.
When you say jock, does Treasure play like football? Are they a cheerleader? Like, what is their passion?
I was thinking field hockey.
Field hockey, nice. Brutal, absolutely brutal to the shins, that game. So we've mentioned it slightly, but it's Friday night. Twin Pines Mall, we can see late on a little island stand a coffee shop. Just as we look at it, the lights go out, and the lights would have said full of beans, but the sign switches off, and we see like somebody dragging in chairs from outside to inside the shop. As this person is dragging in the chairs, we see a very fancy car pull up. It stops for a moment. And Sunny, what does Jasper look like as they step out the car and arrive at Full of Beans?
Jasper is wearing a white turtleneck and very expensive sunglasses, regardless of what time of the day it is, just always wearing the same glasses. Looks extremely frail and like pale, like extremely white, and just gets out of the car, immediately holds a friend, a girlfriend, who knows? Really, no one knows. Crosses arms with them and walks without a care in the world towards the coffee shop, just an air of superiority, pretending they're better than everyone, and goes inside the shop with this person.
Straight in the door, doesn't pay attention to this poor staff member dragging, like, those
Absolutely.
heavy tables, these heavy
Nope,
and the
not
cafe
even.
barriers that just
Not a good night, not
Yeah,
a hello, doesn't even acknowledge the existence, just goes straight in, probably like sits at a corner, puts headphones and goes to, or
just
unless he has
waits.
something else to do.
When Jasper comes through the door, who is it that realizes it's Jasper? Who do we see, like in the film? They look up to go, sorry, we're closed, kind of thing.
I
Is
think
there-
it would be the manager. There is a manager that like really likes Jasper. Or
But
no.
you see, no, it's Friday night. And
Oh,
when
so
it's
the
Friday
manager's not
night in
in.
retail, you get all your teenagers to work because you don't want to work.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'd say it was probably be either Roger or Alexander. It would be one of them.
Do we feel like Roger is more in charge than Alexander, or is, yeah?
I think
Sure.
Roger would try.
So Roger, because of their gregarious nature, has suddenly become the shift leader at Full of
Mhm.
Beans.
Yeah, I mean,
So you're there
makes
maybe
sense. The
at-
customers like me the most, so
at the
Yeah.
bar, like filling out the book. You've got to fill out a book at the end of your shift, that kind of stuff. Ridiculous paperwork that is such a drag. But Roger, as you look up to be like, sorry, folks, we're closed, in like the whatever manner he does. There's Jasper. They walk in. What does Roger look like? Tell us.
Roger is 17, so fresh-faced young guy, not super tall, but not short either, sort of average sized, white rosy skin, brown hair. He's wearing gold-rimmed glasses, and a blue polo, which an apron that he was wearing during the shift. He's taken it off and kind of like put it over somewhere, and he looks up and he's like, "Oh, sorry, it's you."
Evening.
Well, come on in. I guess we're letting everyone in now.
Do you want me to take you out? Because
No,
I can do
it's,
that.
It's fine. I assume you're here for the thing.
Accurate.
Hmm.
How's it a coffee?
Do what?
How's it a coffee? Sorry, I should probably speak louder. Do we still have any?
I think I haven't emptied the pitchers yet, and so he'll go over.
Thank you. Just
squirt some
Sits
coffee
down and just waits for it.
and just drops it in front of you on the table, like coffee splashing over the rim.
So Alexander, we've just decided works here, but isn't the person in charge. So
No.
is Alexander the one who's been hefting in the tables from outside?
No, I think Alexander's made maybe 3 coffees on his 4-hour shift and has spent most of his time writing lyrics in the back, hiding away.
Okay, so you're there. You're supposed to have cleaned the dishwasher and brought up all the syrups from the stock room,
Done none of that.
but there's
Yeah.
just cups everywhere. There's nothing that's been taken out the freezer. And what does Alexander look like in that back room? Like there's obviously chaos everywhere, cups and bottles, empty bottles, trash bags that need to go outside. But what do we see like Alexander?
So he's got very messy hair, but he actually spent like an hour getting it to look exactly the right kind of messy. He's got an old band t-shirt from the 80s, and a leather jacket, and he's probably like sprawled across like at least 3 different chairs, kind of chewing on a pen with a notebook in his hand, trying to come up with a rhyme.
Just like because it's before like everybody had a phone in their pocket.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, Google what rhymes with banana.
Oh, I have a phone. It's just not very fancy.
Yeah, it's like, a weight, a dead weight. probably not that, but I may be misremembering. Okay, so we've got varying levels of like activity from some folks. Does Treasure work at the coffee shop, or is she coming to meet somebody else?
I think Treasure does work there.
Okay, so is it Treasure? Because she's fit, she's the jock, she's probably used to doing like exercise. Is she the one dragging in the tables?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us what Treasure looks like as she's moving these tables around. Is she like upset about getting this job again? Is she fine about getting this job again?
I think she's a little annoyed because it's one of those jobs where, like, sure, she can do it by herself, but the tables are, even if they're not heavy, they're awkward. And it would be easier if somebody just came out and picked up the other side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these tables are 100% awkward. These are the heavy drop leaf tables that if you don't undo the catch properly as you're moving them, the bases will like bang. And, it's just it's the worst job. And you're doing this by yourself. Are you trying to do a good job? Like what's Treasure's sort of attitude to this?
Yeah, I think she's trying to do a good job in the sense that she's also distracted. Like she's like meaning to do a good job, but she's not thinking about what she's doing in terms of the job.
So she's just dragging along, not like looking over and being like, where is Alexander? What is he doing? I don't know, that kind of stuff. Just trying. Okay, cool. So as you like maneuver the last sort of table and final stack of chair into the side of the store. And it's odd, right? Because the manager is absolutely adamant, like things must go exactly where the floor plan says they should. Like they must be stored in this exactly the same place. And when he's in, what can we call the manager? We see anybody? I normally steal some names from chat, but you've all got wonderfully elaborate names going on in Twitch chat.
Bob.
Bob. All right. So Bob, right? He's like I never care why the owners tell me the floor plan has to be perfect and you have to store these in the right place. They just do, right? And I'm paid to tell Roger to make sure it goes. So it's like one of those moments where you have to stop and check you've not done it because there'll be a phone call tomorrow morning if they are not in the right place, whatever. And then Roger will be cross with you, kind of thing. So these folks are working varying levels of work, considering Jasper's position in this hierarchy.
I don't even work here.
What is Kenneth like? Does Kenneth arrive because he's on a waiting for folks to close up, or is he at some part of the shop like cleaning up?
I think that perhaps it's not one of Kenneth's nights to be on shift, but he's going to come by to walk home with Treasure because they're siblings and just kind of wants to be kind of companionable at the end of the day. He's been hanging out at the local New Age store with Jenna, who runs it, and just kind of picking her brains about like the best crystals to use for specific rituals.
But it's good, right? Because Bob has also said, right, now the four of you are here. Obviously, Bob doesn't include Kenneth, and he's left this note in the diary, right? This is something that Roger's got because Bob's not here. It's Friday night. He's an adult. He's left us in charge of the teens. So Bob's left this notice in the diary, the communications diary that every retail restaurant cafe has, which has got scribbled like notes in it. Somebody stellotaped the page back in. It's covered in coffee. There's probably been used like a jam knife has been a bookmark at some point. It's like beaten up diary. Rogers, you flip to like today to see if the notes from the morning have been put in or that kind of thing. There is like a bright post-it, yellow post-it, with Bob's like training video, last warning kind of thing. And you're like, oh, we were supposed to watch the videos. You're not going to get paid for this, but you might as well all sit down and do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a case of beer in the back waiting for us to take it, or Roger at least has plans to take it to a party later tonight. So I guess we could crack that open and, I don't know, fast forward through these videos maybe.
I mean, if you leave it in the VCR at the end of the tape, that at least looks like you've watched some of it.
Yeah.
Tips from the 90s.
Mhm.
Yep, just leave it playing, go do something else. No one will know.
We'll call it a pre-gaming sort of thing.
That's good.
Getting warmed up for tonight's activities.
I was told I was gonna learn how to make coffee by watching the tape, so like that's the whole reason I'm here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those videos you just know where it talks about like how our beans are grown on a beautiful mountainside under sun, and at no point ever is this sort of like poverty wages for people in a different country.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to talk about how ethical and wonderful our coffee company is.
Oh yeah, and there's a whole 15-minute segment about how unions are bad for the employees.
Yeah, no unions in Philippines. But yeah, we who's it? Like, do you set this up, Roger? Do you say to somebody else? Because like Kenneth just arrived to wait for treasure. You're like,
Hey, Kenny?
Y-
Kenneth?
Yeah, Kenneth is good. I tend to avoid Ken if possible. The Barbie association is not great.
Okay. We kind of have to watch these videos. I really can't have Bob on my back any longer about this. And he holds up the diary.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to just kind of sit in a room when it's playing, if that helps. Yeah.
At the very least, we can say we were all here, and then, fast forward when we all get out at a decent time. I don't know about y'all, but I've been invited to a party, so.
Okay, sure. That works for me.
Kenneth heads off to like the back room or some sort of alcove, dives in and unplugs this. And it's an ugly, like vacuum formed VCR TV thing in one that they don't have plugged into anything, because then they might have to pay for like a TV license or cable or something. Like you can't watch anything. If people were to have fun on their break, they might take a longer break, that kind of situation. Can you tell, folks, there are a lot of like harsh memories I'm digging into here.
Mhm.
Like, but yeah, so Kenneth, you bring this thing out, you plonk it like next to the bar, next to the coffee machine and stuff, and unplug a blender and plug this thing in. Look down into the back room. Alexander's still like writing on a back of a thing, like he's got a wedge of napkins and stuff. Yeah. All right. At what point does Treasure walk into the back room, just roll her eyes, and then turn around and walk back out? Like, that's not my problem. I'm not a potwash today.
I would probably get Treasure, like, just call her, like, come here, dear, because we're childhood friends, right, Treasure? I think we've known each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'm just go like, come here, and just like grab the arm so we can go together to the back room.
Yeah.
Again, Treasure probably plops Jasper in the corner, just like make sure the teens are doing their job. Probably my parents sent me here. No, like they need to watch this. Bob has been telling on them because my parents own the place. So like Jasper's here to make sure everyone is actually doing the thing. Being the party pooper.
That's the thing. Got it.
Mostly doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jasper doesn't care, but my parents told Jasper to do it. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we have this shoddy TV set up in a position where at least everybody can hear, because it's going to be a corporate thing. It's going to have like some sort of jingle or catchphrase. That's Bob's expecting you to be like, hey, next shift kind of thing. And we set it up. There is like this brown postal envelope, like, and it's got like Full of Beans address, FAO the manager, from a franchise corporate sort of thing on it. Pull it out. It's just this unmarked paper cassette wrapper, VCR chunky thing. Put it in, and it plays for a moment or so. It's got that sort of static blue screen kind of thing. And we wait for a moment or two while we, put our head around, make sure somebody's sweeping up this thing. Like Roger's like, is it $3 up or $3 down? What? Oh, wait, no, they didn't pay out, that kind of stuff, checking through receipts and just pottering around. And it plays, and it's going for a little moment. Like, who is the most invested in paying attention to this? Who actually might notice first? That it's not necessarily gone straight into a jingle and some like, welcome to Full of Beans Training Volume 6.
Jasper's listening intently, waiting for the coffee part.
Okay.
But like staring at the floor, just like going like this.
Just yeah. Okay. So it's about a minute and a half. I think Jasper's paying attention. He'd probably pick it up quite quickly. That it doesn't kick in to the jingle. It doesn't welcome you to Full of Beans Training Volume 3. It doesn't do that. In this video we're going to cover, doesn't go into any of that. What it starts with is it's like the ambient noise from the cinema, like the foyer in the cinema. And you can hear like people, the noise of like sodas being poured, some cash drawers sort of chinking, like backwards and forwards, and coins, people like bubbling kind of thing. And it kicks in with that. I think maybe it's like a situational, they're going to lead with one of those kind of role play things where they're going, gee, can you tell me about your coffee? And the cinema person goes, I don't know, that kind of thing. And it doesn't, right? And it has this for a moment or two, and then you realize you can hear two people talking, and they're talking a little bit excitedly. Like there's a female voice in it, and she's saying something like, "Do you think those kids were like clones of the old man? Because they never talk about their parents, right? It's really odd." And he's like, no, they're just like a niece and a nephew. He's just brought them to show them the fancy park. Why are you interested in that? Do you not see the giant dinosaurs? And they're talking about like the film they've just seen. We recognize the voice, or at least Jasper recognizes this voice, especially the female voice. Who do we know it as? Do we have a name for that person? Did we think of one, or shall I pick a name for that person?
You can pick.
Okay, I can pick. All right. It's Jennifer. Jennifer, who has sometimes come to the coffee shop because they're actually in a relationship, situationship sort of thing with one of the staff members here. So might not necessarily be one of the staff members here. If somebody wants that, that's fine. But Jennifer comes to the store now and again and does that thing a little bit like Jasper does, but without as much authority. She sits on the lobby, waits for the other person to finish up, and then they go off to a Friday night party. They go off to that kind of thing. So we recognize Jennifer's voice. The other voice she's talking to is not the person you expect. And then as the video kind of goes on a little bit, they're talking about like, we should go to a party. It's a very familiar, like friendly sort of conversation.
Alexander sticks his head out of the back room. Jennifer here?
Roger, what video did you put here? This isn't the training.
Wait a sec. Is that is that the video that's been going around? And he will literally like turn around, reach into like the back closet behind the counter, lifts up like a case of beer, and just like hops over the counter in a single stride, like sits down, open the case, crack a beer, and it's like eyes glued to the TV.
Roger, what video did you put here? What
I
is
didn't put
this?
this here. This was already in the VCR.
Why is this here? Why is Alexander, why is Jennifer here? What is this?
Oh, it's not me.
And who is this? Who's this person she's talking to?
Do we know them?
I think the more like socially gregarious folks will probably pick up on this chap. We can collectively decide. Like they're noticeable enough that when you immediately see them, you go, "Oh, that's Simon from the football team," or that kind of stuff. They're a big noticeable figure.
I've got
town.
a 3 in contact, so
Yeah, you know them straight away.
That's Simon. He's one of the cool kids.
Oh, that guy.
Probably why he's talking to Jennifer. Wait, I think I might have been at that party.
What party?
In the video.
So you saw this happen?
I don't remember seeing them together, but I don't remember
so-
a lot from that night, honestly.
Why are we watching this instead of the training? Who put this tape here?
Turn it
What
up,
would
turn
be-
it up. Like run over and hit the volume.
So everybody like gathers around this little tiny CRT monitor thing. Jennifer and Simon leave the cinema, and the cameras are very like it's not obviously like somebody following them with a steady cam. It looks like it's from CCTV spots along the way, and it like cuts along from different positions, but it's odd that you can pick up their conversation. So it cuts along. Simon and Jennifer are holding hands. They stop off at a burger bar on the way to wherever it is they're going. They're like a couple of rows down, and I think Roger will have definitely heard about a video that shows two people making out, and it's as teens go, it gets pretty like exciting. This video, however, this is just really cute, except for maybe Alexander, who's now watching Jennifer hold hands. They're doing that thing where they steal chips from each other, like Simon dips chips in milkshake. She laughs at him at this, and he that kind of stuff, and that's kind of thing. This is like familiar and cute. This is not what Roger is like, perhaps heard from other folks.
Is this a different video? Have y'all heard about the video?
Yeah. Someone said it was like really racy or whatever, but this is not that.
What are you all talking about?
There's this video that's been going around.
Tone.
He like
Do
just
you-
looks at you.
Sorry,
There's this
go-
video that's been going around. And it shows two kids from school going at it. And this isn't. Wait a sec. Alexander, is that. Did you know?
That's definitely. I didn't even know she knew Simon.
I mean. But aren't you two?
Yeah.
Got it. Nothing official. And he winks.
I think we're missing the point of why a tape like this is at the back office of the coffee shop. Bob wouldn't watch this.
What if Bob made it?
He would never.
How well do you know him?
Very. Definitely better than you do. Yeah.
I mean, for Jasper might not like know Bob. Well, no, I think Bob is one of
I did
your.
put an anchor. I think Bob is
Yeah.
an anchor. And NPC I put a thing.
Yeah, so Jasper knows Bob well enough to know two things. He probably doesn't have any technical skills aside from anything that is outside of this coffee shop. And two, Bob works about 85 hours a week
Oh,
because
yeah.
this is retail in the 90s.
Oh.
So whereas Bob had time to go and hack CCTV cameras, edit this together on an old sort of thing, copy it onto a fancy looking VCR and put it in the cafe for folks to watch
God.
by accident. So Jasper is in their own special way very confident. But that's
To
sort
be
of
fair,
from-
Jasper is also very confident in things that an Asper should not be confident in, but this time it worked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, so there's definitely a level here of whether Jasper wants to share like this kind of things with them. Jasper knows it's just like not in a mean way, but a joke that Bob would ever have time to do this.
Bob could never, literally, he does not have the ability to do this. Bob can be great in many ways. Technology was never one of them. This is
Then
something else.
Someone else who works at the coffee shop? I mean, half of us are already here.
Do we know anyone that would be like technological, knowledgeable enough to do something like this?
No,
Fair.
like this like there might be weird stuff like so things from the flood. We're in a slightly parallel reality which has got some ways better technology and in other ways worse, and then all the cool technology is either being taken away because the loop failed and the company crafter is like, nope, we've got to go and repurpose this, or degrading. There is this strange mechanical degradation and almost like visceral kind of gooiness to some of this tech. It's not unheard of. Like if the loop was still operating when you kids were younger, this could have been easy to do it done. Now it's a hassle. There's no future in it. Like why bother, man?
Yeah, people wouldn't put effort into it.
But obviously someone is.
Alexander, do you think someone would do this to you on purpose? Like show you what Jennifer is doing or something?
I don't think, I can't think of why anybody would want to put that much effort into maybe someone that knows Jennifer, someone I don't know about.
I mean, Jennifer is a regular. So if one of the other employees is like obsessed with her or something, it's not a huge leap, I guess.
Are
We
we
all
gonna
sort of
look into this?
Yeah, we sit there for a moment confused. Like this point now, they're sort of like whatever party Roger says he remembers, there is some sort of like parents' house situation, but there's no cars in the driveway or anything. And you can see like there's like it's not a massive party. There are about 10 folks there. There's some people sat on a couch. There's some people sat, and you can see like clearly where there shouldn't be CCTV cameras, right? It's a friend of a friend. And we watch it as like they just sort of do stuff like one person goes off to get a drink and comes back, hands it to the other one. Like why was everybody so excited that it was this scandalous? Is confusing. And Jasper's right. Like Why is this in the thing? Do we inspect the video? Do we go back and look at the thing it was mailed to the store in? Does anybody go and check Bob's office? That kind of stuff. Like, what is Bob doing? How did this get here? What, has the TV been tampered with? Do we do anything to investigate those things? What's the plan?
I think Kenneth is definitely interested in like the tape and the thing that it came in.
Mhm.
So we'll kind of eject, have a look at it, pick up the envelope, and
Okay. So as you eject it, like it is a relatively normal looking VCR tape, like a chunky cassette. It's actually got the Full of Beans like logo on it. And it's, corporate training volume 6 on it. In the envelope that you've got it out, it's got, one of those printed things, letter to the manager. Hey manager, this is going to help you train your stuff. Let me just check what would be a good role here for us.
Investigate?
Yeah, it'd definitely be a mind investigate, just for like traditional stuff. But like Kenneth is also a little bit weird. So if he wants to do like, I don't know, check its chakras, or if you can do that with a VCR, I'm not a seeker, Kenneth is. I'm open to negotiation on this front.
Investigate is good for me. But I think, he'll be like, are there any sort of hidden symbols that are being etched into this tape, or has it got a dark aura around it, that kind of stuff? So it's a hefty roll.
Okay.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So with this, we can do it collectively as a group. Obviously, I'm not going to offer questions because that's cheeky and I might mislead you. But we can, as players, decide what Kenneth wants to know about this. So the first up for the first success, looking over it, there is nothing that would mark this out as unusual. Like it's presented as it should be. Like you try and maybe see if anybody's like slapped the sticker on top or that kind of thing. And even like inside the envelope, you can see the cheap cellophane that has been ripped off that goes in, that would have been like vacuum sealed around it. That's none of that gives the sort of like, why is this unusual? How kind of thing. The only thing you realize is it's got the like, what would it be? The loop sort of logo on it. But it's like, what is it? So it's got the loop logo, and then it has VHS production services at the bottom. So it's been made locally, but that could just be because, there's the facilities to bulk copy VCR video cassettes. Would have been a thing they would have done at the loop. So on general inspection, and the first inspection, it doesn't stand out, but you're like, oh, we could, it's not from far. Collectively, if you want to ask another question, but ultimately, Kenneth, Maddie, you have the final say on what the question is.
Cool. Is there like a return address on the envelope from where it was sent from?
So there's the local loop production services on it. The other return address is like Full of Beans corporate kind of thing. It's potentially been shipped out and shipped back. Like it's funny for you, like air miles and whatever, or train miles, it's been produced here or recorded somewhere else, produced here, shipped out, shipped back. But yeah, there's
capitalism.
90s wastefulness. But you would have kind of known the local and those kind of stuff. There, if you want another question, that would have been plainly kind of there.
Cool. I'm struggling to think of anything. If anyone else has got something.
You're looking at the envelope.
The envelope and the tape itself.
Mm-hmm. Is there like another anything else there, like a note or like Bob did gave the instructions for watching the tape, but when we got it like out of the envelope, is there like anything else that is there as well?
No,
Apart from the
So as Kenneth goes over everything that the tape came with, maybe even like poking a pen to hold the VCR, the little flap on the thing up to look inside to make sure it's not like a dupe or something, like looking around. Everything seems as it should be. Like there's the corporate BS that comes in the little bits of paper. There's the sticker on the back of the little padded envelope. There's the aggressively cheerful letter to the manager. The VCR doesn't look like it's got anything sort of caught inside. It doesn't look like anybody's taken a little Phillips screwdriver and undid the cassette itself. You can see you've watched about a quarter of the tape kind of thing. It's like,
Sorry, yeah. Is there any evidence that it's been like the original training video that should have been on it has been recorded over with this, or does it seem like it's just a fresh tape?
so you look in the I got excited then because I remembered a bit of tech. On old VC, you could put a little bit of paper in it so you could record over it. No, it's like the tab is broken up. It's not there.
it should have. This
video
should be the official thing.
Yeah. Everything suggests it should be an aggressively cheerful but very mundane video about ethically or not sourced coffee. However, it's a video of Alexander's partner with Simon at a nowhere near as exciting as Roger suggests party after going to watch Jurassic Park and having burgers.
Can we like fast forward to make the tape go fast until the end? So we
you want to
see
like
if something, if like
play it at
if
2 times
anything
speed.
else is gonna change. Like it changed
Okay.
from training to that, so maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So we put the VCR, put the back in the VCR. Like there is that moment where someone's like, I think that is the remote, like it'd be on the remote. And we have this whole sort of like, short moment where Roger maybe dives back in and like in drawers underneath. No, it's not in the drawer there. It's in the counter drawer underneath the, that kind of stuff. Well, it shouldn't go there. And then there's a whole like, don't tell Bob. We haven't put things away where they should be. Things have to go exactly where they should be, kind of thing. And we find it and we get it. And we got this remote control. We're sat there. We cracked open the beers that Roger's found. Is that a thing now?
That Roger brought.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Roger's beers.
We probably did, yeah.
We've got Roger's
He's
beers.
like eyes glued to the screen, just like taking these like small, fast sips.
Okay. So we put it back in. Do we want to start again and pay attention, or are we just going from wherever it is, the quarter of the way through, and we're gonna go from there as fast as we can?
Roger's the one that's most interested. How
Let's
do you want to
start
do
from
it?
where we stopped. We don't need
Okay.
to go back.
Yeah.
No need to like. No need to
Time
put
to rewind.
Alexander.
Yeah,
no need to
go
put
through-
Alexander through that heartbreak again. All right. So we put it in. I would like. Who's paying the most attention? Roger. Okay.
I'm paying a good amount of attention.
Oh
as well.
yeah, Alexander maybe is paying the most attention here. Hey.
Alexander.
He's invested.
Yeah.
He is.
Roger's just a voyeur.
Roger's like, oh, Alexander's like, oh.
All right. So Alexander, I would like you to make a mind comprehend roll. And because you've got Tales from the Loop and Things from the Flood don't do like group tests. What happens is we pick someone and they're getting assistance. So you can have an extra dice from everybody else paying attention with you.
Okay, take one from me.
I think Kenneth is pretty interested at this point. He's kind of
Mhm.
staring through his sort of dyed black curtain bangs.
Jasper's bored. Sorry, no dice from Jasper.
Yeah.
Just intrigued, but not that interested.
And how's
I-
Treasure finding this? Yeah.
I think Treasure would be interested in finding out what else is on the tape.
So we're doing mind comprehend, and you've got those bonus dice as well. We just need one success.
Just one success out of all of that, but there is one success.
Excellent. So here's the option, because when Maddie rolled, we got extra successes. This time we don't. There's a function in Tales from the Loop and Things from the Flood, where if you want more successes, which may potentially generate more answers, you can do something called push the roll. If you were a kid in Things from the Loop, you could maybe be lucky about this, but we're not. We're teenagers now. There's no luck. So if you want to do and potentially get more successes, not guaranteed, you could take a condition. The condition will last until you get to spend some time with your anchor. And I'll be very honest here, potentially for the rest of this session. And that will, in the future rolls, reduce your dice pool and also give us a little bit of an idea about how Alexander is feeling and dealing with the situation. You don't have to, though. You can be satisfied. Like, you've got a success. We are going to find something interesting out.
I think I will, looking at the conditions. Do I have to decide what condition I'm going to take now, or can I see what the information is and then choose?
Yeah, we can see what it is and choose at the end. Yeah. So you gather up everything that wasn't a 6 and roll that everything else.
2 more 6s.
Okay,
So
so we've got a
that's 3
total
total.
of 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So as we sit down, Roger, like, just passing out beers, doing that thing where you're fixed on the TV and just kind of holding the beer out in an angle until somebody takes it off you. Like, it's the assumption everybody's going to drink. Alexander, like, watched, perhaps he's the one with the thing. First thing you spot, absolutely without like missing a beat. I've forgotten your girlfriend's name. Jennifer. Oh, how could I do that? I'm so sorry. Jennifer, when we play, Jennifer is wearing different clothes. Like, instant.
What,
Different
from before?
Yeah. Like she was before wearing like jeans and a t-shirt and it had like Spice Girls or something on it. Now it's like a summer floral dress and some flip-flops.
The same scene.
Sort of.
Like,
yeah, so like this same sort of situation, but as like immediately Alexander, different clothes. And then we see, like, it's not Simon who walks in and hands her the drink, you know, because we watched maybe him leave. And he was just in the door. It's not Simon who walks in and hands her the drink. It is someone who potentially Roger recognizes again, someone called Daniel. And they've got like the local sports club shirt on, kind of thing, and shorts. And he hands like a canned drink. And as you watch, like, almost everything around it is similar, but these two things, like, Jessica's wearing a dress and it's Daniel giving her the drink. So 2 extra successes. Do you want to know, like, do you want me to, is there something specific you want to ask? Or should I just keep feeding you the weirdness?
Any suggestions from any of the other players? No, I'm happy to take the weirdness.
So you're there, Alexander. You watch, and she's wearing. So instead of twice as fast forwards, you stop. You go twice as fast backwards, and it has that sort of like lines over it where it's going too quickly, and it goes like in reverse. We see them leave, we see them walk. We don't see them go into a burger bar. We see them go into like a fried chicken place. And instead of like sitting, like, they didn't sit down, like the video shows them like walking along eating chicken strips, and they walk backwards into a fried chicken place. They're there for a moment. They come out. As they come out of the fried chicken place, they like kiss, and it's cute on the high street. And then they go into the cinema, and you watch them. Potentially, folks have been to the cinema. And we know they were talking about Jurassic Park. They turn around, they walk back, and they go into, let's pick a weird film. I mentioned it before. They go in to see Super Mario Brothers.
No, we said no violence.
Let's go.
No.
Yeah. Big Bob Hoskins on the picture.
No. Okay.
I think as we see them, like I'm taking the upset condition. I'll mark that now.
Yes.
And as we see the kiss in the street, I think Alexander's gonna, just without saying anything, walk back into the back room and shut the door.
Quiet, like.
Oh,
Yikes.
Alexander.
Roger will pick up the remote
Mhm.
and fast forward again. And he
So
wants
it goes.
he's going to fast forward to the house. Because you mentioned earlier it could be someone's parents' house. No cars there. But there were around like 10 people in there or something.
Yeah.
So he wants to see if he can identify the house. It's become clear he wasn't at that party, and he's a little annoyed that he didn't hear about it.
You fast forward. As we fast forward, it does the same sort of cuts as it did in the previous time. And we watch it sort of flicker through and do that glitchy sort of movement through the video. It has this annoying function where it's like, so it's just this high-pitched kind of fast, annoying conversation, like
Animal Crossing language.
Yeah. As it goes through, and you get to the point where you can see the house. You pause it to get like a good look. It would be a contact roll, heart and contact.
7 dice.
Wow.
Oh.
He gets around. I have 2 6s.
Wow. Okay. You do know them. Do you want to name them or should I?
Let's name her Leslie.
Okay.
Oh, wait, and he does the whole Leonardo DiCaprio pointing thing.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, that's Leslie's house.
All right. So here's the other weird thing, right? You know, Leslie is planning a party. Her parents are going to Gran Canaria for like a week. She is planning a really cool party, but it's not for like another 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, she asked me a few days ago if I could help her get some alcohol, but the party's not for like 2 more weeks. I mean, I said, yeah, of course. Everyone asks me. I got the hookup, but I guess.
So the party didn't happen yet. Are you sure this is Leslie's house?
But
Are you
this can't
seeing
be
it
the
right?
party. There's not enough people there. It's supposed to be a big blowout. This is small fry stuff. 10 people? Well, it's a get together at best.
Sounds disgusting to me, but whatever. But also, we were watching the same tape. That was a different movie. It was supposed to be Jurassic Park. Now it's not. And then it wasn't a Simon anymore. And now you're saying there was a party in Leslie's house that didn't happen yet? Did we fast forward too far? Is it showing? But that
No,
can't
'cause
be.
when you pause, you can see the time.
Yeah.
Or could you not on VHSs at that?
Yeah, no, you can see how
No,
far
you
you've
couldn't.
played through the video. Yeah.
So is
Mhm.
the timestamp the same as like before? We're still only in like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah,
of
we're
the-
only in like 20 minutes of tape. Well, yeah, it might be a little bit longer because if we think about we've walked down, so maybe like the first 30 minutes of tape.
I could try calling Leslie. It's kind of late, but she's got a private line, so her parents won't hear it.
Yeah.
What will that help though?
I just asked that I've heard she had some people over recently, and Jennifer was there with someone, and then see where we go from there.
That sounds like a good plan. Can someone check on Alexander, please? I don't think he's doing great. He might want to talk to someone. So maybe you called them and someone checks on him. I'm so sorry that I'm being this way. I feel so gross doing this, but okay. Just like telling people to do things, just like, can you please go deal with this?
Kenneth will kind of
Well, you
shuffle
call.
over to the back room door, just very gently knock on it. It's like, hey, you okay in there?
Hold on. I'll be out in a minute.
Okay. Just if you need anything, just you know where we are.
Yep.
Is Alexander doing that thing where you've put the dishwasher on, so there's a lot of noise, and if he's feeling sad, he doesn't have to, like, nobody can hear, like that sort of stuff. And oh no, I opened the dishwasher and now my face is all
He's
puffy.
writing a Nemo song.
He is.
Oh wait, actually. Oh no. Oh baby.
Honestly, I'm jealous. That's great inspiration.
My girlfriend is having strange future past video
With man plural.
cheating.
Yes.
I
Oh,
mean, it definitely could be a emo song. All right, so we knock on we check in on Alexander. He is okay. Like, he's not,
Yeah.
but he wants to.
He's
he wants
busy.
to take a
yeah.
moment.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. While we're checking in on Alexander and there's that UK buddy sort of moment, do we ring Leslie? Do we do anything else? Yeah. Okay. Is it one of these sort of like, let's put it on speakerphone?
No, he wouldn't do that. He would pick it up and start whirling the cord.
Oh my god.
And then just let it ring and wait.
Okay. So we ring up Leslie. It's a private line, like you said. She picks up and she's like, shh, like, it's late. My parents, I shouldn't be on the phone. I'm supposed to be studying for double science. And if I don't get a good score next week, I'm going to have to stay at my cousin's when they go on holiday.
Oh, crap. Okay, well, just real quick, sorry to bug you. Hope you're doing okay. Did you happen to have a get together recently with Jennifer? I've that's a quick looks around. I've heard stories that Jennifer maybe he's going out with some new guy. Wanted to know if you knew anything about that.
No, look, I did so badly in my exams last week. If I don't pass next week, summer is cancelled. Like, I've not had a holiday. I've not been out at weekends. I'm missing, there's a party you're supposed to be going to not tonight, isn't it?
Mhm.
I'm missing the gig, the event tonight. If I don't study and at least show I'm trying, this is not going to happen next week. And we're going to have the best blowout ever.
Yeah, I'm totally looking forward to it, and definitely not drinking up what we've started stockpiling. Yeah.
So you hear in the background on the phone, an adult, and I imagine it's Charlie Brown,
Mhm.
in the background. And then Leslie's like, yeah, no, I'm just listening to the French tape. Yeah, that kind of thing. And then, look, I have to go. I'm going to, and she repeats the date of when the party is going to be. And I'll get you the money. We've got a pool. I'll get you the cash and you can get the yeah.
Perfect.
But no,
Yeah.
no.
All good.
I haven't had a party. Of course I'd invite you. Bye.
And he just sort of like puts the phone down. Leslie's been tied up, doesn't know anything about Jennifer or a get together. I mean, she could be lying, but she sounded pretty stressed. I mean, if she performed that well at auditions, then she probably would have gotten the part she wanted. I'm just saying, I don't think she's making it up.
I believe you for some reason. But what the fuck then?
Have we really watched like things that could happen on a tape?
Would Jennifer do that?
So I think Treasure wants to like rewind and fast forward it over and over again while everybody else is talking. She wants to see the changes.
Okay.
She's looking for somebody to see if they appear on the tape, but she wants to go back and forth to see what changes and how it
Okay.
works.
So everybody's like, we've got folks listening in on the phone call to Leslie. We've got Kenneth checking in on Alexander like furiously writing his ballad or some sort of song.
It's called I Guess It's Not Destiny.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, that's so good.
Heart feels and Treasure sits there. Stop, rewind, play. So the third time you watch it, they come out of Jurassic Park again. Jennifer's wearing different clothes, but she's back with Simon. And this time they head into the chicken strip place and walk. And they get to the party. They get to the party and it's busier. You stop it, you go back. Jennifer and Simon come out of Jurassic Park again. They go straight to the party. But as they stand outside of the house, they make out for uncomfortably too long, in your opinion. Maybe not, I don't know, Treasure, but they do make out on the street for a while. They go into the party. The party is mediocre. You come back, you watch it again. It's Jennifer and Dennis. She's back in a Spice Girls t-shirt. They go to the burger bar. They get to the party. The party looks reasonably the same. Instead of a can of drink, she gets something mixed. And there are these little changes, like I think maybe the fifth run through, it's almost exactly the same, except they go to a different house.
so it's always Jennifer, but the details are
Yeah,
different.
it's about Jennifer. But each one is in some way different. Sometimes it's like really big different. Sometimes it's subtle, like it's a different t-shirt, that kind of thing. But yeah, in the time, like Treasure gets to watch it maybe, especially like twice double speed kind of thing, maybe 10 or so times, and you're like, take it out, maybe check, where you get like you put a mark on the tape, like the chalk pens that you write at the boards, just to make sure it doesn't go past that point or something, to all the manual kind of things, to make sure. It's physically the same cassette tape, but its contents every single time you watch it change.
This isn't normal. This wasn't supposed to be happening. What the?
So, meta question.
Mm-hmm.
The loop is no longer functioning. The what is it? A hadron collider or something?
I mean, in terms of the setting, like the player characters never really know what the loop is for. It's like a big adult science thing. It's to do with something called the graviton effect. They do lots of experiments there. It's got a lot of funding, depending on which setting, like, because there are British and American and Swedish settings for it. So depending on, you know, where it is, it's what it is. It generates power in a lot of places. But as a sort of side spin, it also like cutting edge, weird technology.
But in Things from the Flood,
it broke.
Yeah.
It broke, it got flooded. It was a big embarrassment. Like, it was supposed to be the future, and it was supposed to be amazing. There was a graviton flip, which meant all our flying hoverboards and cars no longer work as they should.
And the degradation.
Yeah, and then apparently because of whatever they did in the loop and whatever the flooding caused, there is now this machine degradation, which all this high-tech stuff is failing, breaking. The AI doesn't work in the way it should.
So is our local loop still operating?
No, yours, like in our setting, like in all of the settings, there is only normally one loop. And it flooded. A lot of people lost jobs. The town is no longer as affluent as it used to be.
So how is the loop still producing tapes if it's not supposed to be working? I mean, even man.
Oh, because it had the logo, you mean? Like, why is it literally produced by Loop?
Yeah, and like it's not even operating anymore, then why?
Yeah.
Who's there? Who made this?
Because
I mean, we know where it is.
We should probably go check it out, I say. Because
I mean, that's a big
we have an
commitment.
address. Well, you have to go somewhere. Maybe tell Alexander that things are weird, and maybe Jennifer is either not doing anything or doing it with many people.
Well, not yet. Maybe.
Where's the address again? It was from here, right?
So the Loop video production facility, that kind of thing, we heft out a Yellow Pages sort of thing, or an old directory, or that kind of stuff. Maybe we head out to a phone booth in the thing to check, because we might be able to dial up, but it's got that kadang, and you'll probably get in trouble for using the internet outside of office hours. Bob will be in trouble, and you'll have to explain to your parents why you were still there at like quite late, and
you have to charge by the minute.
It's a tiny video. We were so focused on the thing, like
yeah,
we had to do it.
I mean, there's already going to be conversations about why you're still clocked in this late after closing. You don't get paid this late, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the address is, it's not necessarily the Loop itself. It's one of the facilities on Loop land. It's still there in like a rundown kind of industrial estate. It's not manned anymore. There's no production going on there, theoretically. There's probably some security patrols. Treasure might have done like a cross-country pass down like the road, where they make you do those horrible runs, like where you have to run, turn around and come back, that kind of thing. Kenneth might have, I don't know whether he has a car or not, but he might have drove out because there's less sort of light pollution. You can see the stars and therefore the moon in the proper phase, or that kind of stuff. I can't imagine Roger would ever have gone out there to have a rave in a yard, in a field. That would never happen.
No, never.
That kind of stuff. And Alexander, I don't know whether you practiced band or like shredding out there because nobody would listen. But it's in like a fairly, like, you might, or no, it's up to yourself, your characters, you might know the location slightly, but also it's like that sort of creepy kind of deserted place. but it's there.
So okay. But it shouldn't be sending actual video training tapes to coffee shops.
No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's normal and okay.
Cool.
Mm.
Because one of my thoughts was to go and talk to Jennifer, but it seems like she's the sort of focus of this thing. She probably doesn't know anything about why this is happening. So I think you guys are right, and we should focus on the tape.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna go out there now?
Roger
Is-
cracks open another beer and says, I'm game.
But is Jennifer okay? She is the focus of the video, and we don't know what this is. It keeps changing, and it may or may not be in the future, but I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do
She
y'all
doesn't
want to
get
go and check
hurt
the?
in any of them though. So
That's
like,
true. She sounds like she's having a good time. She watched many movies, I guess.
Okay, so it
Do
seems
you
like
want to
we-
go check?
so we've got a bit of a moment. So Alexander, like when they come out of the pot wash area, the kitchen back room, he could phone, he could go off to see Jennifer, while folks like I love Roger's cracking a beer, but there's still like dishes everywhere and that kind of stuff. And it's entirely up to you folks whether your characters, whether they're like, this is too cool a thing to also, what kind of shift leader is Roger? Is he just the sort of shift leader to be like, YOLO, it's this is more exciting kind of thing?
We can come back after and finish. Yeah.
Definitely will do that.
So it definitely feels like we're at a point where if we were watching the film, we would fade to black and cut somewhere else. Yeah. I like it. Okay. Do we want to find out? Do we want to do Alexander going to visit Jennifer? Or does he not want to go and visit Jennifer?
I don't know if he'd go visit, honestly. I don't think he'd leave the group. Like, this is the best song he's written all year. He wants more of this.
Let's go after
There we
the
go.
drama
There
for
we go.
more content.
He might call her on the way. Oh no, because it's the 90s. I don't have a phone. Oh wait, did
you
we
can have
establish?
a phone
Did we
booth?
establish Jasper had a mobile phone?
You can have a phone. I definitely have a
Yeah,
phone.
he might
I have every
borrow
piece of
Jasper's
technology
phone.
that may or may not exist.
And call her.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are we heading out to this industrial estate, this place?
I'm pretty sure Boris, my driver, is still outside waiting.
We're gonna take it.
We can go.
Okay. Okay. So as Roger is like, this is far too interesting, and you're like, no, we can come back later, that kind of stuff. We see folks leaving, full of beans. A chap gets out of the car, sort of looks at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then also the young lady that Jasper brought with him, who she's been
Probably waiting at the car or something.
like reading Vogue Now or something, some terrible trashy magazine. And he counts you all and is like, are we going somewhere, sir?
Yes, Boris. I'll tell you the address. You can come in.
Obviously he dives, opens the door for Jasper, doesn't even have to touch the handle.
Oh, he wouldn't.
And then he looks at you all and picks someone to sit in the front, like probably not Roger.
No,
This is
'cause
not enough
No.
I've got the case of beer in the other hand. So.
place.
Poor Boris.
Does
is paid enough,
Alexander want
though.
to sit in the front because that's where the radio would be? Does Treasure sit in the front because they seem quite respectable by comparison with our other reprobates?
Yeah,
Jasper
Treasure
went
will-
inside the car without worrying. Like, Y'all can fix it. Y'all can solve it.
Yeah, Treasure would sit up front.
Okay, so Treasure just. All right, so we all get into this car. The doors shut, the tinted windows thing, and we watch this like very fancy vehicle leave the mall parking lot. It is 1:15 now. I think we should take a quick break, get some more hydration, maybe a small snack. When we've finished our break, we'll come back and find out what's in this industrial park. Yeah? Excellent. Right. Don't go away, folks.
Yeah.
We will be back soon. Folks, I hope you all hydrated. I hydrated, and I also had a chocolate biscuit. That includes you two folks watching on Twitch. I hope you all hydrated as well. It's very important. Everybody sit up straight, all that kind of stuff. Welcome back. We're playing Things from the Flood. We've been watching some strange videos. Oh no, one strange video on repeat. Treasure. When Treasure was watching this video, did she like make a note? Is she the studious type to have gone run 3, change t-shirt?
I don't think normally, but because she had a specific goal of like looking for somebody, she was making notes to like of who was in there, so that like she has like
A reference.
not like she has like little references, not like detailed notes, but
yeah. So then,
And
like,
also,
maybe...
I would see like Treasure going like, she's wearing a different shirt. She's wearing this now, like actually saying it out loud.
like, yeah.
Mhm.
These notes look like maybe perhaps some sort of field hockey sports plan kind of thing with lines and circles and a code only Treasure might know. And as we look at that, we realize we're sat in the back of is it a very nice car or just a reasonably nice car?
Oh, it's a very nice car. It's for Jasper. So it's a very nice car.
Okay. And how does like the other folks in the car feel about like this opulence?
What would be a very nice car in the 90s, by the way?
I don't know. Like we can, I don't know. It's probably like some sort of German-made car.
Like a BMW
for
or a
sure.
Mercedes?
Yeah.
Shipped over at great expense with custom designed. Like the seats inside have little coffee bean motifs because they've used a custom fabric, that kind of thing. You know, absolutely bespoke.
Necessary and ostentatious.
And there's like this, it must be a moment for everybody else sat in the car, right? Because you all work at the coffee shop and you all know your rate of pay. And then perhaps Roger's rate of pay is nowhere near as much as it should be because he's running the shift and he's in charge of all you teens. And now we're in this fancy German car with a chauffeur. And you're like, wait. So how does that like sit with folks? Like, do we have this uncomfortable sort of like, ooh, real leather moment?
Yeah.
Or
I think Kenneth is kind of trying to barely touch the leather as much as possible, partly because he may or may not have forgotten to shower this morning. So his curtains are particularly lank today. And also because his and Treasure's mum is a bit extravagant with the credit card. So even when we've run out of money, she'll just keep buying things on the credit card. So I think Kenneth and Treasure are keen to work at the coffee shop to like make sure they have at least enough money for their stuff.
Oh God, the gap is so real.
yeah.
I also imagine, since 3 of us just finished the shift, that the car smells a lot like coffee
Perfect.
Like,
Mm.
in a weird
Excellent.
way. Coffee and sweat.
Oh.
Yeah.
mm,
And a little
Less
bit
perfect.
of like dishwasher
Bleach.
detergent. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It smells like the bottom pyramid of capitalism.
Yes.
It's the working force of capitalism.
No tiny tree-shaped air freshener is going to change this.
I think
Treasure has been in the car before, though. Being friends
Yeah.
with Jasper.
I feel like Treasure
for a long
and Kenneth
time.
had like traveled with me and Boris, like being driven to parties together. They might be neighbors, something like that, because we've known each other since forever. So yeah, given rights, it's always uncomfortable every single time.
Like this familiar sort of seating plan where Jasper sits in one place and Treasure sits in another. And now then you've got like Alexander like pushing up against the side of you and kind of thing.
Alexander, by the way, hasn't even noticed, like barely that he's in a car. Definitely hasn't noticed the coffee beans or the leather. He just thought of the line, I gave you the best of me, but I guess it's not destiny. And he's just away.
Oh my God.
Does like has he changed his hairstyle? Like it was now, is it like sort of slowly creeping forward?
Yeah, I think he's sweeping his fringe a bit more and more.
Oh, I love Alexander.
This is the birth of the emo genre right here.
Yes.
This is it. This is canon. Yeah. I'm just
Alexander invented emo.
Okay. So we drive through, like it's fairly late in the evening. It's not, night, but we drive in late in the evening. You can see that there are like, as we leave the mall, we drive down maybe a sort of dual carriageway, like a main kind of road. It sort of skirts around the edge of town. There is a quietness about where we're driving. You can see there are like these tower blocks, these office blocks that we originally serviced with this coffee shop. Lights are out and chains are on doors and wood covers like first floor, ground floor windows where previously they probably would have had like a reception and kind of thing. And there's probably, we go past one area and there's a group of like 5 kids on bikes cycling like the world depends on them going somewhere, and one of them has a dog behind them and we see them disappear off into there. Clearly some other mystery is happening in the area for a genre slightly younger than us. And we move along in this sort of quiet, uncomfortable moment and the driver is like, we'll be there in a moment, sir. Do you want me to tell anybody that you'll be late?
Please, yes, please tell my parents we're still at the coffee shop. We're doing, this is for the training.
Naturally, I wouldn't
Thank you,
suggest
Boris.
otherwise. Should I wait or?
Oh yes,
not?
please. Just
and as you pull up, you can see this sort of chain link fence to kind of close off the area. Like Boris reaches over to Treasure and is like, just help with Sir, won't you? Just make sure. And he stops. Just his parents are concerned for him, kind of thing, to Treasure.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
And he like, there is a relief in the driver. He gets up out of his seat, goes around to the side of the car, opens the door for Jasper, but everybody else as well. Because it's rude to just shut the door after he gets out. And we see a bunch of sweaty, some slightly dirty coffee grains in our fingers, teens, and then a pristine Jasper get out.
And Jasper's companion?
That's a question. Are we bringing the companion, or is Boris like, I will take Miss Home?
Miss Home. Actually, her name is Home.
Miss
Please
Home.
take Miss Home home. Yes, Boris. Yes, that's a good idea. Please take Miss Home home, and then, you know what? I'll call you. You
course.
may. Yeah. Thank you,
And-
Boris.
And anybody, like the camera would just stay on Boris just that moment or two longer, like he's concerned about leaving his charge
Mhm.
with
Also,
The staff. I don't know.
I'd like to add that probably like Boris has seen Jasper not in public, like not with group of friends, and he knows that Jasper's not here. Like he's a nice kid. He talks about stuff that he likes, but then immediately when he's in public, he's just like, yes, Boris, please wait in the car. And probably Treasure as well. I would say like, no, that this is a Jasper is in public sort of situation. So he's like, oh no, the child.
Yeah, like
Child.
there's a level of concern for the driver that is more than it should be. Like he clearly feels for Jasper. This is perhaps a relationship in lieu of a parental relationship. Who knows? He gets in the car. He drives Miss home. Like he moves away slowly. As we leave, the five of you stood in front of this derelict industrial estate, chain link fence still there, like a picture on the thing that's like 24-hour security monitored by and it says like unique to the setting, right? Unique monitored by both robot and human security operatives, like, you know, to warn you like there's people and robots kind of thing. And it's up there on the fence, and there's a padlock, and you can see everywhere is just dark and quiet, aside from like the tail lights, the red lights of Jasper's car moving away. What do we do?
I'm just with Treasure at this point. Well, like I'm assuming, unless stated otherwise, Jasper and Treasure are just constantly glued together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Kenneth's going to kind of see if there's any gaps in the fence or any art that's maybe slightly lower that we could jump over, or that kind of stuff.
Okay. So he heads off in one direction. Do we follow him, or are we going to like have a nervous moment while Kenneth goes off by himself? What is the plan?
I think there is no plan, apparently.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
think maybe there's a moment. Oh wait,
Okay.
hold on. A minute ago, Jasper, did you say you'd call your? Wait, you said you'd call your driver.
Yes.
Do you have a phone?
Oh, yes. Do you need it?
Maybe I should ring Jennifer.
Yes, of course. Pulls the phone out, just puts it out, waiting for you to pick it up.
What are you gonna do? Accuse her of cheating on you next week?
Well,
I mean,
we don't
should-
know. Maybe check on
I don't
her.
know. Yeah. I'll take the phone and dial Jennifer. I assume I know her number.
yes,
Roger
of
like
course.
raises his eyebrows. Okay, and we'll go off and follow Kenneth.
Okay.
I can't be here. This is too cringe.
Ew, he's in love. Ugh.
All right, so we have Kenneth and Roger moving along the chain link fence to try and find a more accessible entrance or a hole in the fence or something. And then we have Jasper, Alexander, and Treasure all stood around this 90s mobile phone with Alexander's finger just above the call button. Yeah, so beep, and it rings. Is Jessica, like, are there two phone lines in Jessica's house, one for the internet, one for Jessica, you know, that kind of thing? Or is it going to be like a family pickup? What's it when you call her normally?
I think it's single. Like we said 93, right? So that's
Mhm.
that's one landline, I think.
Yeah, okay, one landline, nice. So it rings and it rings, and you're like, thank goodness they're not downloading a photograph of the internet. It rings, and then one of Jessica's family members picks up, and they're like, "Oh, Alexander, yeah, hang on." And it's that sort of moment where they obviously put the phone away from their face and stand and scream, like throughout the house at the top of their voice, like, "It's Alexander, Jessica." Somebody else comes on the phone and is like, "Are you going to take Jessica out on a date? Are you going to kiss her?" And you're like, you can hear Jessica, like, get off the phone. You know, that whole like, my sibling has touched the phone and talked to the guy I'm totally not dating. And then you hear like there's a scuffle, a noise of like a kid running into like the kitchen. Mom, Jessica's gonna go on a date, kind of thing. And like obviously a parent just being like, oh, behave, leave your sister alone, that kind of, you know, managing things. And you hear her eventually, like there is a big sigh as she's had to deal with this embarrassing situation. And then she comes on the phone, she's like, Alexander?
Oh, hi. Yeah, are you okay? Is everything all right there?
Yeah, are you I thought there was band practice tonight.
Yeah, we're just gonna get to that probably at some point. Listen, you know Simon from the football team?
Yeah.
Do you like know him?
What?
Do you like know him well?
Well, I think his mum goes to church with my gran.
No, but you haven't seen him recently.
We have French on Tuesdays. Like Tuesday recently.
Ah,
I had to
okay.
What?
What about Daniel?
What?
I think
Daniel?
he's also on the football team. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think he's in any of the classes I'm in.
Oh, okay.
What's this about?
We need a new bassist. And I think they both play bass. Hey, you know Dennis? Do you know Dennis?
I think we need to make some sort of save your relationship role.
Yeah.
Good thing Kenneth has walked away because Kenneth is the bassist.
He is the
like,
bassist.
what?
Been sacked.
Kenneth in the back. No, you don't.
Yeah, so this
I'm
is
kidding.
this is definitely a charm role.
It's one success.
Okay, so we just managed to cover our sort of bases. She hasn't, like, there's nothing in her sort of confusion or questioning that makes you think she's covering because she's totally been on dates with these guys. Like, there is, it is a situation where she's like, no, I have French with him. I think I saw him in like the supermarket, you know. Were they at that party when you were doing that BAM set and their girl, you know, that kind of stuff. So by the end of the phone call, Alexander is like, this is definitely not a ended relationship.
Okay. So I will. So I think I'll run it up first. Roger actually told me, sort of invited. There's a party going on in a couple of weeks at some girl's house. I think her parents are going to Gran Canaria or something.
Oh, Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie. Did you wanna like go together? Maybe we could.
Yeah, we gave them some cash. Like when I got paid from work, when I got paid, we gave Roger some cash because he's going to buy the booze.
Right. Cool.
And you said you would give me, when you get paid from the coffee shop, you would give me half of that back because I earn £30 a month from my 2 shift, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, no problem. And I was wondering, maybe we could catch a film beforehand or something.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to see?
Is the new James Bond out?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I heard they're going to have a sale or something at the chicken place because it's their 5th anniversary. So there'll be a special offer. We could get chicken on the way home, or we could go to the party.
Let's grab chicken on the way to the party. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, okay. cool. And then you hear in the background, like a small, younger, ugly sibling going, I told you it was a date, Mum. And then there's that whole sort of thing of like, put the other phone down, stop spying on me, kind of thing. And she's like, right, look, I'm gonna go and kill my brother. If I go to prison, please come and visit me. And then it goes quiet for a minute, and then you hear her like, put the phone down, that kind of thing. And she's like, wait there, and the phone is put down. You hear someone run upstairs. You hear like a phone click. No, you hear her go, don't, like, I'm gonna hang this phone up, don't go away. Like, so she hangs up the second phone, runs back down to the other one, and is like, picks it up and goes, okay, I love you, bye, and then hangs up. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay, the song is ruined right now. The mood is gone. The emo is over.
It's gonna write a different song now.
It's a love ballad now.
Mm.
Oh no.
All right. It's got like a nice twist, like a hook.
Key change.
Key change, yeah.
Maybe it is destiny after all.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, it's like teenage bands, right? So this is like one of the 7-minute epics that they play when they're not doing covers. It's gotta be. Yeah. All right, Kenneth, you're walking along. After a couple of steps, you hear like Roger say something like, "It's too cringe," and then his footsteps like quickly catch up behind you, and you walk out along the road together, heading down. As you get like along the way, maybe 5 minutes or so, you can just hear not the details, but the sound of the three of them up by the phone. Perhaps there's like a moment where you literally hear Jasper like sigh from whatever is happening in the thing. It sort of carries on for a long way. There is a secondary sort of access, like, you know, like further down to get deeper into the park, into the area. This has like a little, it's not a guard hut, but it's like a security, like, yeah, this is where they would have brought wagons through. And there's a little like decrepit sort of hut there. You can carry on further along and it'll turn down a side road because that'll be the edge. You can investigate here. You could double back and come past your friends and try the other way. What do you prefer to do?
Kenneth will turn to Roger and say, do you want to check out this guard hut? Maybe there's a way through here.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. And Kenneth will start kind of trying the door, trying the window, those kind of things. See if there's a barrier that's easily lifted.
So the sort of gates are like where your friends are further up. They're big chain links, like things that have been put in afterwards. And you can see where there's been like some sort of bolting on these to what was the original kind of brick entrance, sort of aligned the road. And this guard hut, looking through it, it's not as sort of destroyed as it could be. It's obviously seen the effects of the weather and that kind of thing. It's been left alone for a while. You're pretty sure like someone might have been sleeping in there. It looks like stuff has been pushed up against on one side. And then probably, like, you can't quite see it. There'll be a way out on the other side, but you can definitely see, like, it looks like there's wrappers of takeout food, bottles, that kind of thing. Like, if you can force your way into this, that might be quite an easy way through once you've sort of moved in.
Cool. I think Kenneth would be keen to like make sure that this is actually accessible before going back and getting the others, because if it would be really embarrassing if he was like, oh, here's a way through, and then couldn't actually get it open. So he's at least going to try and force his way in.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you're gonna like give it a bit of a push. Would be a body force move.
All right.
Can I aid?
Yeah, you can get an extra dice from that.
Okay.
Nice. That is
so-
very much appreciated because I only have 2 in body and nothing in force. So
Oh, okay. So like here is like maybe a little bit meta, but is totally doable. The other option could be like Kenneth looks at Roger and is like, you could push. I've seen you move the bags of coffee. You could open that door. You know, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Or
Could you though?
Kenneth knows his sister quite well. You know, Jessica does a lot of training. Sorry, Treasure does a lot of training. My bad. You could maybe go back and ask Treasure to help you. Like,
yeah, that
it's
makes
up
sense.
to you. It's up to you. Like meta, it's not the sort of. I'm not going to be upset if you do think about these things because we don't roll that many dice in things from the flood. So we want to make sure.
Yeah. I think Kenneth is like assuming that he's going to fail, but is going to try anyway, just in case something miraculous happens. But then if not, then he will definitely ask other people for help.
Yeah,
So,
just take the extra die from me. I have a 4 in body, so I think that puts you at 4 altogether, 4 dice.
Mhm.
So we'd be even anyway.
nice. Okay. Yeah, no successes. So yeah, definitely just sort of a very limp sort of thump, and then I'm trying to hide the fact that I've definitely bruised my like upper arm and trying to kind of rub it gently. I'm just like, yeah, maybe we should get the others to come help. We can probably still get through here though.
Or we could take a condition and try again.
Mhm. You could push.
If you really want to go limp.
Ooh, I think
Not to push it too hard.
I think Kenneth is going to leave it for now, but yeah.
Couldn't we just break a window or something? There's got to be like a rock around here.
Are we catching up at this point, or are we like waiting for Kenneth to come back and pick us up? I don't
So-
remember the plan.
I think this might be the point where like Alexander has walked maybe 5 or 6 paces away so they can have the cute bit of the conversation without Jasper and Treasure sort of like listening.
Spends
Um,
5 minutes going, no, you can hang up.
Yeah,
No,
Ah.
you hang up.
that kind of moment. Does Kenneth do Kenneth and Roger like, okay, look, we found a way, we can maybe find a big rock and smash a window. Are you going to stay there and do that, or are you going to go back and
Yeah, I think Kenneth will turn to Roger and say, why don't you follow the rock lead and I'll head back and tell the others what's going on.
Yeah,
see if they
Roger's
can
like
help."
3 beers in at this point. So he's like, all right, I'm going to find a rock. Cool.
okay. Kenneth walks back up the way. You're going to stumble around and look for a rock. Okay, so you're 3 beers in. It is late. There's no street lights or any kind of lights around here. Can you make me a body move?
Yes, move
test.
is the one body thing I have. So 7 dice again.
Nice.
Three successes.
Oh, amazing.
Yo,
All right. So you definitely don't fall into the rainwater ditch on the side of the road as you're staggering
Perfect.
around with your beer.
He's a theater kid. He knows how to move around in darkness backstage.
Yeah, nice. I like it. You do find a shopping trolley, you know, that kind of stuff, like the normal sort of discarded things down the side of a roadway. Probably a bicycle wheel or whatever has been
Cool.
ditched down there. And yeah, you find like
Like
I
a
mean,
brick, like one of those concrete
yeah,
things.
like a concrete breeze block thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're like, this got some heft to it. This'll do. There's a bit of maybe a little bit of a wobble as you sort of scramble back up a bit, but nobody sees because it's dark. Coolness preserved. And you folks sort of meet, like as Rogers kind of stumbles onto the road, only because he's had to come up a hill with an unusual weight. Didn't spill a drop of his beer.
Oh no, I put that down before.
Oh,
That's,
just down the side.
no, we're not
Sorry.
risking that.
Okay. Good.
not the beer.
Especially when you're that age, every single drop is
Mm.
precious.
It's expensive. It's like
You're like £6 a week wage from your 17 hours or whatever it was. Like It's terrifying. I'm just trying to remember my original starting wage at
Mm.
I think it was something like £3.61.
Mm.
Yeah, shocking. Anyway, let's play the game. Let's not do nostalgia. Folks convene with Roger. He's got a breeze block. Alexander, are you embarrassed by this public display of affection, at least on one end? Are you worried that these folks have heard you go like, "I love you"?
No, like he definitely rather do it in private, but I don't think he cares that much if anybody hears.
There's the relief, right? Of Jessica, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
There's the relief, right, of Jennifer being like, yeah,
Yeah.
like we're totally still a thing, and I've no ulterior designs on
I
these
have a
random
bunch of
people.
new emotions I can write about now.
Excellent.
Yes. Also, it's the 90s, so I would like to ask if it's okay to be canon that her name is Jennifer Jessica.
Yeah, that's totally a name that you could come up with.
Yeah, like
I like it. So yeah, we convene further down the way. This guard hut, this shift supervisor now with brick, ready to smash a window. Okay.
Roger, what are you gonna do with that?
what's Roger doing?
He has a brick.
We're gonna get through this guardhouse, and he starts getting ready to heave
Roger,
through the window.
Treasure, can you do something before he does something stupid again?
Hold on, there's got to be an easy. Is there an easier way to get in than trying to crawl through a broken window?
Kenneth tried to push the door. That didn't work. I mean, somebody could climb up and over.
I mean, I can try to push open the door. Like, it'd probably be easier for everybody than trying to climb through a broken window.
Well, only
I
one
like
person
that
has to
idea.
climb through, and then they open the door from the inside.
I trust Treasure a lot more than I trust Roger, especially 3 beers in. So maybe we try that one first.
He just drops the brick with like a soft thump onto the ground. Whatever.
Okay. Does anybody try to help Treasure push the door off?
Absolutely not. Sorry, someone else can. Jasper's not.
That's fair.
Physical labor, darling. No.
Oh, Jesus, no, I'm gonna get dirty.
Okay. So Jessica, Kenneth, you can help your sister if you want.
Yeah, I think Kenneth will help, even though he doesn't think he'll do much good. He will at least make the effort to appear to help.
It's another body force move. Roll even body. No, we're not doing moves.
can
it's
help
the wrong
with-
system.
Moral support. Like, you got this, Treasure. No, I know.
That's not going to quite cut this body roll, I don't think. But it's appreciated.
Well, I did get a success. On
Excellent.
9 dice, I got 1 success, but I
Ooh.
did get one.
Oh,
No.
wow. Okay, so it's tough. Like there must be a bunch of stuff like pushed up against the back of this door. And we watch as Treasure kind of leans into it, maybe leans back and takes a bit of a sort of shoulder barge. And we can maybe see like the whole sort of I shoulder barge into you in field hockey. You go over, they go down, and I go through. You know, the jock side of Treasure kind of coming to the front.
Yeah.
And you push this door open, and there's leaves, a real moldy sleeping bag out here, discarded kind of takeaway and drinks things, and yeah, it definitely looks as though somebody's been using this place to sleep at some point. You kind of move out the way, open the door, move out the way, or maybe you go back to Jasper for a moment. But you found your way through.
It smells like shit in here.
Definitely.
What's going on? Well, we're in, right?
Yeah.
Thank you,
I would
Treasure.
imagine it's just an abandoned building, and that's probably why it smells.
Mhm. So, what are we looking for exactly? Now that we're in?
Through, all the way through the guardhouse.
Okay, we move through. We can see that there's like an old kitchen in here. When I say kitchen, I mean like previously this was a place that would have had some sort of microwave plugged in and a kettle of some sort of brew making device, and a small fridge. The fridge is still there, but the door is gone, and you can see like the remains of something's tried to make a nest in it or something. And we move through there. There is like a small sort of office space as well. Couple of kind of CCTV screens, but they're not connected. There's no power in here. We move through to the other side and into the industrial estate, like the place. As you are on this side of the way, you can see like a lot of the concrete is cracked or things are growing through it and that kind of stuff. But you're mindful of the signs that were outside, and you can see marked on the floor. It's like the registration marks for where the robots know the route. So as they come past this is like, it's got a QR code style thing on it that represents it's been here, where you are, this is the geolocation, you can continue 17 paces this way, then take a 13-degree turn, that kind of stuff to register. And they are prominent on the floor. But no device, no robot, no autonomous unit has crossed your path yet. But very mindful that they are there. We look at the torn out page of the yellow pages for this sort of address. Did we bring the tape with us? The training tape with us?
Oh, we wouldn't have left it. We wouldn't have left it.
Yeah. So
I don't think so.
We've got it.
Yeah.
And we begin like walking and searching around looking for this thing. Like as we kind of wander through, we can see like places would have had signs on, but some of the bigger places, either the signs have been like painted out or removed, almost like the companies or the sub departments that worked here are too embarrassed to now be associated with the area. Like it feels like they're hiding kind of things. Some of the doors are kind of forced open. You can see folks have been through and into this way, whether it's looters kind of heading through or people looking for shelter and that kind of stuff. There's a real kind of melancholy dystopia as you kind of wonder, there would have been in like even just 5 or 6 years ago, hundreds of people here, even this late at night, like coding, working, building things, looking at stuff, leaving and coming. Like it was busy. Like you will all have had a relative who had a big job here, and now you're like, oh, okay. I mean, at some point maybe it's one of those like, Uncle John used to work over there, that kind of thing. The whole place, you can smell like rot, like damp, those doors that are really made out of cardboard, they're not actually made out of wood, and once they're soaking, now they smell moldy. Like the whole air kind of smells of that. And we can now and again hear like something skittering. It's probably a squirrel. It might be like, an owl or mice or something, but there's definitely things live here that have more than 4 legs. And you can hear them moving around the place. We get into the middle, into like what would have been an area that perhaps in Full of Beans' heyday, their mobile van might have come and parked up in the middle here. You have a little espresso machine on the back of it. And maybe, Bob, when he first started to work for Full of Beans, this would have been his little concession. He could have hooked up here, sold espressos at the back of it, but now like it's just like cracked asphalt and faded paint, and the lights aren't even on, let alone have light bulbs in. We look around. Who is leading the sort of walk? Who is like, okay, I'm first? Anybody? Or are we all just sort of like teens?
I think Kenneth is really curious at this point, and it's just like, I need to know what is going on here. And he's kind of running through loads of theories in his head, like, what if the tape is possessed by a spirit or something? And it's just like, and maybe it's like, maybe someone died in the video processing place and like all this kind of stuff. So I think he's sort of maybe just sort of subconsciously starting to drift ahead of everyone else.
Okay. So, what, like, I'm open to a bit of negotiation because Kenneth is a little bit of a seeker. Like, is he like full hippie sort of like my heart leads me this way kind of moment, or is this just the facts, ma'am? Like, what role? And it's not to find out if we find the place. I'm more interested in how long we wander around this abandoned place to get to our point. What is the approach, if you will?
I think there's definitely a level of, I'm just looking for the right vibes in this, but also he's a smart guy. He reads a lot. He's got like an extensive library of occult reference books. It is like that he's got secondhand that are all dog-eared and sort of torn. And so, yeah, he'd also be looking out for more mundane kind of signs and indications. So it's a bit of both, I think.
Okay. Make me a heart lead roll.
Cool. That is 5 dice for me. 2 successes.
Well, excellent. All right, so it doesn't take too long, and there are definite vibes around here as you make your way around. You go down one cul-de-sac of where it'll end, and it's almost like, and I think like Kenneth, because he's leading the way and he's open to these experiences. It's almost like, no, wait. We have down, and you realize in that moment, there's almost like you've made all the wrong choices to look around the park, all of the wrong turns, all of the not going into this direction, and you like stop yourself. You look around a bit, and you realize the building you're looking for is just over there on the left.
Guys, look, it's just right there. I can't believe we missed it this whole time.
But it's right there.
The video place, the video
Oh, there it is.
processing.
Okay.
Sorry, this stuff
Yeah.
is just so ancient. I've been like distracted.
You make your way over. The door isn't as locked as you expected it to be. You're like, open it with ease. Like, Treasure doesn't have to barge this down. We're not looking for some breeze block to smash a padlock. It's literally open.
Weird. Roger will like go over to a light switch and try it out.
Click, 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 click.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, no. There is no
Okay.
light switch
No,
on.
I mean that's better. That's better than if power was actually running through here.
Mhm.
That would be more freaky.
Activate the robots.
Not the robots.
Killbot 17 active. We head into the building. We find ourselves in like a foyer. You can see there is like stairs that lead up to like a mezzanine with an office. There are those small sort of corridors either side that lead into a dozen little rubbish offices. Once there was a nice couch here and a desk where a person stood and greeted you. Now there is some sort of nest for wildlife and a very deflated kind of couch looking thing, and this rotten kind of table. Behind it, you can see that there must be some sort of stairs down, because there is an elevator, and you can see on it, it has basement 1 and 2.
Jasper is like clearly uncomfortable because he's not used to places like this. Like he's not used to the smell of old and rotten and stuff like that. But he is forgetting to hide that he's super excited and is so curious. So he's like starting to like, okay, so what are we doing? Where are we going? Just point me. Let's go. Like, what's going on? He's like starting to get like anxious teen, like fuck yeah vibes.
I don't know. I don't think this place has made a videotape in a long time, though.
No, it doesn't look like it. Where do you think we should look to, though? It seems pretty big in here.
Is there any signs that point to where these things are made or watched, or I don't know, quality test or something?
There were 2 basement entrances. Did I hear that right? Did I miss anything?
The lift, like the lights, obviously the lights aren't working, but the things marked above the lift, there is basement 1 and 2.
Okay. Not basement 1, basement 2.
Yeah,
got it.
basement, common 1, common 2. There are 3 levels to the whole thing.
And we're on 1.
You're on 1.
We're on, yeah.
American style.
Mhm.
Bleh. Well, if it's anything like the theater at school, then upstairs might be where they keep like props and stuff, or tech stuff, and then downstairs would probably be where they're keeping like the basement probably is where they're keeping like costumes and props for. I don't know what kind of stuff were they filming here. I mean, it's weird.
So we're going up?
I'd say up. But it's not like we have a light source, so going down the basement's probably a bad move.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go up.
There is Treasure leading the way up the stairs. Is she at the point?
Yeah,
Jasper,
with Jasper.
I want to, showing the little bit of excitement, Jasper wants to try to do this by himself a little bit.
Mhm.
Just like maybe push a little past, see if he can like go ahead a little.
So he moves ahead, and it's cautious. Like there's a tempered enthusiasm to the way he kind of moves. It's dark. As he gets to the bottom of these stairs, like there's a bit of a stumble. You can see him slowly kind of gauging the step, but once he's got the hand on the sort of stair guard, like does he go quickly? Does he take it
He tries.
too fast?
Yeah, he's a little too excited.
Okay. So as Jasper sort of like, I guess it's maybe a little bit uncoordinated in his sort of gait as he heads to the top of the stairs. Is anybody like Treasure quite close behind?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then is everybody going up, or are we splitting the party?
Oh God.
I think we're all going up.
All right. So
Going
Jasper...
into the dark basement with half of us does not feel like it's good.
Okay. So Jasper, you get up to the top of the stairs, and let me think. Yeah, make me a mind investigate roll, as you are the first person onto this sort of landing.
Mind investigate. And okay, do I add? I have 1 investigate, and I have 5 mind. How does this work?
So you're going to roll 6 dice,
Awesome.
and we're looking for any 6s.
Awesome. Yay. No.
Okay, so you can push the roll, which would mean you get to roll all those dice again, but you
Mhm.
take a condition And so like Alexander got upset. You might be similarly, or maybe when he gets to the top of the stairs, he stumbles, and so he's like injured or embarrassed from falling over, or you know.
How would shames play into this role if we wanted to use that here?
Yeah.
So if you're shame, we can sort of narratively tie like how either exposing your shame would benefit you. You get an automatic success.
I was thinking maybe like
use that. I was gonna say you can use that once per session.
I thought maybe like scared or maybe upset because he was going up the stairs and like stumbling a little bit.
Okay.
And so yeah, I think maybe upset would make sense. And then I re-roll all of them.
Everything that wasn't a success.
Okay, that is 2 successes now done. 2 successes.
Nice.
So there's a bit of a moment where like Jasper kind of staggers, maybe flinches as he reaches the top of the stairs. Again, this is like a landing, and on this sort of level, part goes left and part goes right, out of sight. Ooh, I've just knocked all my things on the floor. That's great. So Jasper, as you there, you kind of stumble because, and it's perhaps a recoil. You hear something move over to your left, down a corridor. You hear something move. That kind of clatter of like plastic being shoved around, something falling on the floor, and then definitely the sound of like a door closing, like you've disturbed something. But also, as you kind of stand there and listen, you can hear, and it's for a moment, it's very reminiscent. Well, it is very reminiscent of when you first were listening to that VHS. Like you can hear the ambient noise of somewhere, and then folks talking, and then more kind of cars moving. And for a moment, it feels like it's real, and then you realize it's another VCR, another cassette tape playing.
So there's another cassette playing.
Yeah, somewhere over to the opposite end of the corridor.
Okay. Treasure. Kind of like put my hand back.
Yeah.
Treasure things are happening. I can hear another tape, and also the to the left there's a door sounds. I heard some plastic. There's definitely stuff happening.
Treasure will obviously grab Jasper's hand and be like, okay, which one do you think we should check out first? Do we want to check out this other tape, or?
The tape sounds similar to what we were watching. You said like sort of like vibes wise. Maybe we go check the tape, see if it's what's going on.
Okay. Yeah.
But there might be someone here or something. I heard a door closing. I don't know if it's dangerous.
Do we want to split up and check both? We could have a couple of people go one way and the others go check the tape. Like we shouldn't go alone, but
yeah, just don't leave me, okay? I think I pushed a bit too far.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I got you. I'll stay with you.
Thank you.
Of course.
What the other ones are also coming up, I'm assuming.
Yeah, everybody's just you folks were the first two at the top of the stairs. So we're all going down to where the sounds of the cassettes being played.
Yeah. And then I will let them know, like, so there's noises there and cassette there.
Yeah, who's at the back of the party? Like, it's a very Dungeons and Dragons question, that, forgive me. I'm ahead by one game. Who's at the back of the party?
I think Alexander might be the slowest.
The rear guard. He scratches something on a piece of napkin. That's a brilliant coupling. What? We're going, okay.
Why are we here?
What?
Okay, so we move following Treasure and Jasper towards the sound of the cassette playing. Alexander maybe looking around a little bit, but obviously concerned. We move down. And Jasper's right. Like you get towards the end of this corridor, there are like 4 doors like on either side of the corridor, and it ends at like a window of the side of the building. There's 4 rooms down this way. As you sort of get close to them, it's not just one thing that's playing. It's like each room has like 4 or 5 things going on. You sort of glance left and right, you can see like, you know, those sort of CCTV style TVs, or perhaps the control room of a TV station with all the different monitors on the go and desks and things. All of them are playing something. We sort of move
And
down
all
a little
different
bit.
things?
I mean, you'd have to go in and like
Fair.
pay attention to they are all playing things, and you go down to like each one of them, these little mini sort of production suites, if you will, playing on each of the like 8 or so screens in the room. What do we do? Do we go in and do we split up and look at all, like there's 5 of us and 4 rooms? Do we have Treasure and Jasper go in one and Alexander? Or do we all convene in one and investigate together? Does Kenneth turn around and go and find the other person? What's the plan, folks?
Is there anything else on this floor, or is it just these production suites with the
So
TVs
this
playing stuff?
This end of the floor is just seems to be 4 production suites. Where Jasper pointed, there is another small corridor with another set of 4 doors.
And that's where we heard the door shutting.
You hear the door shut. But it's a little bit too dark to go down there and sort of, well, it's a little bit too dark to kind of turn around and see exactly.
I want to go check that out.
Okay.
Like, if you're going over to check that out, just don't take somebody with you.
Yeah, sure, I can go.
All right, Alexander, let's do this.
Right, so Alexander and Roger head off back where we heard the sound. The 3 of us who are left in these production suites, are we all in the same one?
I think Kenneth will be keen to stick with Jasper and Treasure for, because I think it's getting a bit real now.
Okay.
Yeah.
They like stay too close to each other, like Scooby-Doo going inside rooms.
Yeah.
We're going to go through one room and come out of another. That's gonna happen, yeah. Okay, so the 3 of us in the production suite, we sort of, there's one chair, there are all these sliders and buttons. There's one of those sort of audio kind of copy cassette desk, like this is probably Roger would know a lot about this with his theatre background. He might not admit it, I don't know. But he would probably understand this more. But there's a bank of 8 TVs. And as we sort of look, maybe we lean over and turn up the volume on one of them. It is startlingly similar to what we saw in the coffee shop. 8 screens all seem to be similar camera shot. They follow someone kind of moving along, seems to be going about their day, and they're a similar person in each of the shots. They all have common, like Treasure might even, like with your notes, like, okay, yeah, I can see what's going on. Like they are the same story, but where somebody waits for the red light and then crosses properly, they, go ahead without it. And they play through that, and then after like the end of something, it fades to black and starts again, but this time somebody else is focused in the middle, like of the kind of story,
Like the main character is changing.
Yeah, in each of them. You watch perhaps it's somebody you've seen around town, but you don't actually know them. They go into a shop, they purchase a thing, but in one thing they pay with a check, and in another they pay with cash. In one thing you can see them having a conversation with the store staff member, and there's like this sort of like, sorry sir, we don't stock that kind of thing, and a drama as they leave. In another one they catch public transport just in time. In another one they just miss it. In another one they get in their own car, kind of thing. And it's all these sort of like slight variations. Eventually, like, they'll end in similar situations. You kind of
Hey guys, this is it's the same thing again, isn't it? The Jennifer tape. It's doing it again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it also look different? Because it sounds very different.
Yeah, there's just tiny changes in each one. Is there any way that we can figure out where the signal's coming from? What this is recording, or if it's playing something back?
This is very much a tech roll.
I am not the right person to do this.
Neither am I.
Hey. No.
I will accept a calculate, or I might even accept a tinker tech roll. Player's choice.
I will have only 3 dice in any of those.
3 whole dice? That's amazing.
I'm happy to go for it. If
Okay. Which
yeah.
do you prefer? Are you doing the tinker, or are you doing a calculate?
I'm happy to go for calculate, to kind of just sort of.
Okay, we're going to do tinker calculate, and we can have 1 dice of assistance from, at the very least, like Treasure and Jasper pressing a button when you say so, and then you're looking for something. Like,
Cool.
Okay, you press that button, and then you press that button. Like, that kind of thing. Okay,
Cool. Well, that one just completely fell. No successes. I'm going to push this one.
Ooh.
excellent.
And depending on what we find out, if we find out anything.
That's the thing. Like, your shame. Like, you can guarantee yourself a success if you think you can. Is there some way we can sort of?
Oh yeah.
And your shame could be like, using it could be like putting yourself in a situation where others realize that. Like, I
think maybe, I think to guarantee success, Kenneth is gonna like mutter under his breath, like a little kind of Celtic prayer or something that he's read about in like a new agey book that's just completely co-opted all these old folk religions and just kind of repackaged them for 90s kids.
The neo-pagans prayer to that kind of thing. Okay. And it's just loud enough that Jasper and Treasure hear it, that kind of thing. Okay.
You do that, but don't say it out loud, just like, oh.
If we were playing longer, that might have some long-riding consequences, but unfortunately we're just doing 1 today. Okay, so you get 1 success. You can still roll to see if you get any more, but we definitely find something.
Cool. I'll give it another roll to see if there's anything extra. 1 success. So
okay, so 2 in total.
Yes.
Okay. So through this sort of like, concentration and the muttering to, and even if like we don't know whether the prayer actually works, or whether just focusing on that takes you from not being scared about the situation and allows you to concentrate. This has got a line in, and the line in goes across the floor to a port that goes into the wall, and looking at the cable, it goes down into the basement. Like, it's a chunky kind of, it's being fed up from somewhere. But as you sort of pull away from, like, doing that old school kind of following the cable along, your hands are like viscously sticky. Like it's that kind of like kind of, yeah, we know it's machine degradation around. This whole system is infected with something, and it's downstairs. While Kenneth is crawling around in a moldy carpet, asking Treasure to tell him if the lights are on, and Jasper to press that button again, kind of thing. When I unplug this, press that button. You know, that kind of stuff is going on. We have Roger and Alexander. You're heading down to where Jasper told you there was a sound. There's no, like, as you get to the first set of double doors, these are open. In fact, I think one of them is probably hanging off and laid against a wall. Like, it's that kind of thing. Then you look in there, and it's, I think Roger probably would have seen, you know, where you store like cassettes, and not just video cassettes, but like audio cassettes and old reels of tape to tape kind of cassettes, all sort of archived along these kind of things. Old MDF rotten bookshelves. Some of them are like resting on top of each other. Some of them have fallen slightly. Filing cabinets where you can see some of them are open and they're full of papers kind of thing in these first. And you look around onto the other sort of room, you can see the same. These two rooms are archival rooms of some sort. Probably a desk in there that doesn't have drawers, but something where you could put a piece of equipment. You could probably see like the stains of it used to have a monitor on here, and that bit is the original color, and the rest of the desk is perhaps bleached from when sunlight once came through. Moving forwards, the first room, the room on the left, the one with the door open, there is almost like a home here. There is a very recent sort of, it's not a bed, but there is like, you know, a couple of mattresses that are clean. Somebody's got like toys, and not like they're playing with action figures, but like the sort of toys that perhaps you also have in your room and you don't tell anybody you got these, like, you know, it's old bunny from when I was 12, that sort of thing there. There are books, there are notepads and bits of paper and things all around here. And also you can see like the remains of takeout.
Okay, someone's living here.
Like a
Any
kid?
sign? A younger person, maybe?
You still have bunnies?
Well, I mean, no, you're right. It's probably a kid. Yeah, no. I don't have my old Snoopy stuff thing hanging around. I got rid of that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the thing
Mhm.
and go, hello?
Mhm.
Is anyone here?
Obviously no one answers.
Okay, just check. There's a second room. There's a
Yes, with the door closed.
I'll like look at Alexander and then like
Yeah.
move towards that door.
Yeah, I'll move towards the door as well. Sort of maybe knock on.
You gonna knock on the door, or are you gonna sneak
Yeah.
through the door?
I think I knock on the door first,
Okay.
but I'm not necessarily going to stay out if nobody answers.
Yeah, so you sort of quietly, kind of
Mm.
as a warning,
Yeah.
knock on the door,
Mm.
and no one answers. You slowly kind of pry it open. What sort of furniture would have been in the now home, the makeshift home, you can see has been pushed into this room, and it's been pushed into this room in a way like it's gone far enough to be out of my way, kind of.
Mhm.
So it looks like it's cramped, and it's like things are leaning on each other. Stuff has kind of fallen over. someone could easily hide in here if you wanted to, especially if they were maybe a little bit smaller than you folks. What do we do? Do we go in and climb around? Do we try and
Maybe not climb, but crawl.
all right.
Like stay low and move in between the furniture.
And like, describe to me, like, is it a sneaky, a stealthily, like we want to surprise this person, or are we just trying to, that sort of thing where you perhaps corner a cat and give it no option to not run into the sack into the vet's case? What is the approach?
Yeah, I don't know if Roger's being sneaky.
Yeah,
Alexander-
I think it's more not really
Okay.
the sneaky type. I think
So
it's more of a let's
it's-
just corner them.
It's the cornering. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So I need a body move roll from one of you, and the other person can assist. So we're both
I've
trying to
s-
work together.
I got 4 dice for that, so I
I've
can
7.
probably assist. Yeah, I'll assist.
Okay. So Roger is going into the room, and Alexander is doing his best. Is Alexander the front man?
He plays guitar, but he
Alright.
likes to think he is.
So he's doing that pose that he's seen like the bouncers do when people try and rush the stage, or at least when he imagines that's what's going to happen at his gig. Right, so he's doing that pose, ready to sort of get anybody to come and just not necessarily like rugby tackle them, but just accost them. All right. So let's have Roger. Let's make that body move.
Okay, with an extra dime at 8 dice now, 1
Woo!
success.
1 success. Okay.
1 6.
So it's scrappy. Yeah, the footing you want to use is rotten. It's sounded clattering and scrabbling around. Whoever is in here, they know this much better. And they're like Kenneth and Jasper and Treasure, you hear this, like this is like Kenneth is like wiping this viscous stuff, like sticky, you can like ugh, kind of thing. And you hear like, no, wait, quick, Alexander, that sort of moment as Roger kind of climbs over things and shepherds this person out. There's a bit of a moment, a roll on the floor. And they're wearing, like the blankets when you put a blanket over your head and you sort of it's almost like a makeshift kind of cloak kind of thing. And you can, this person, they're skinny and bony, and it's they're not eating enough burgers, if that's indeed what their choice of meal is. And there is a tussle, that kind of thing. And as the kind of tussle comes to an end, you realize there is a person in there. But what freaks, probably freaks Alexander out. So as you kind of look, there is a little bit of and I would say like a VCR sort of red light glow from inside the hood. And you sort of step back and they scutter towards the ends of the room, ends of the corridor. So you have them cornered, but we're not necessarily like in an altercation with them. And this person looks maybe 5 foot, quite small, quite slim, dirty. They smell, and they were very uncomfortable. Like you wouldn't be giving this person like snuggly hugs at this kind of, like they are all bones and elbows and that kind of stuff. And they scutter back. As Roger comes out the room and Alexander has them sort of cornered, what do we do?
I think the 3 of us I would look at them and go like, I would look in their general direction and go, we should go. That sounds like they, maybe we should go to where they are.
Yeah, it sounds like they need some backup. Let's head over.
Yeah, let's do that.
Grabby hands for, let's go.
Yeah, Treasure would be there to.
Peace.
Hi there, little guy. Are you okay?
There is, you know, when an adult talks to a teenager and all of a sudden their demeanor changes, is like, are you patronizing me? That moment. Like this figure at the end of the corridor that Alexander's and Roger have cornered, immediately its demeanor changes and that kind of stuff. And I would like everyone to make a mind comprehend roll. As they sort their demeanor changes, the hood falls back, and let's see if we understand what we see here.
1 success for me.
Okay, excellent.
1 success.
One,
success.
2.
Nothing here.
No. Okay.
The patronizer.
Did Jasper get 2? Did you say?
Just 1.
1. So Roger, Kenneth, and Jasper got 1. Alexander and Treasure got no successes. Okay. So as we sort of look, maybe it starts looking over Alexander's shoulder, and there is a young girl there. She stood there. She is very messy, very, very like tattered, but like part of her face, like our analogy would be like Borg style, kind of like she's got some sort of like, and it might have at some point been like a headset or something, but now you can see like it's sort of melded into her. And we look over Treasure's shoulder, and it's a young boy, same sort of thing on their face, but it's a young boy. And then as we sort of move over the shoulders of like Roger and Jasper, and maybe eventually sit over the shoulder of Kenneth because he's into the kind of we can see this sort of like almost television kind of static roll over this person. They're a young boy, a young girl, this young person, and then it'll flip back, and in some of it they've got longer hair and shorter hair. Some of them you can't quite tell which gender or how they want to present, and it's just shifting. But in all of them they sort of lean back and say, this is my home, leave me alone, you can't see this, and then they pull their sort of hood back up.
What are you? Who are you?
There is to Alexander and to Treasure, they say, you know, like the one name, like I think Chris or Christine. To the folks who comprehend, it's like a small chorus of many different variations on the name Christine, Christopher, Chris, Chrissy, Tina, Chrissy, Kristen, like this like echo of people all saying eventually, and then it eventually like softens to, but everybody used to call me Chris.
Okay.
Are you
Chris?
okay?
I don't have enough data to answer that question.
Data.
The subject is variable, and there is no quantifiable definition of okay. Further viewing
Sorry,
could
that's a mood.
extrapolate the details of okay and provide a subsequent answer, but insufficient video has been correlated on, I don't know.
So I'll pull out the VHS tape from the coffee shop. Did you happen to make this and send it out?
Like this, like, and you know, a video echo of a set of hands move forwards to take it off Roger.
Roger's like putting his hand in, like, let's go, and like takes a step back. He does not want to be touched by these video echoes.
Yeah. And the tape, and Chris looks at it and says, this came from this facility. Error might have led to it being issued into the wider area. perhaps an observer caused a line of events to make this still a viable project. Reaching out into the wider area, it could have come from here.
But you didn't make it.
The failure of this system perhaps caused it to.
Are you part of the system?
And there's a pause. Because yes, but also, and Chris, the system is part of me, and I unfortunately arrived here at the wrong time, at the right time, at an opportune time, a different time to now. Time has moved forwards, but things have not seen what time moved between, and they just go into this very strange conversation where they're trying to talk to you about a time that you don't understand, but you've seen the time. So time has happened, but we've not experienced it, but we want to experience it.
Is there potentially in the last 7 years or so, say 5 years, I don't know if Roger would have been paying attention to news and stuff when he was 10 years old. Did a kid happen to go missing while the loop was still active?
Roger's probably a good person to make this roll. Make a heart and contact roll.
I will do that. So I think that's, yes, seven dice. Roll. Google's got a great online dice roller.
Does. It's beautiful.
No successes, but I'd like to push it.
Excellent. Or does Roger have a way to, like, a shame to sort of
Yes.
tell us? Okay.
So I think in this moment, like, you all might start realizing Roger knows so many people, but who knows Roger? Like, really? And there's this kind of look in his eyes that if this person, this being, or this person was lost or kidnapped, or that he can empathize with that on a deeper level than you would expect. That he's feeling something, and there's a shame sort of in it as well. I don't know how else to describe that to make it more obvious. Okay.
No, I get it. I think we do.
All
right.
Can I roll again and then?
Yeah,
So
you can
that's
roll
one
again.
Success, and then
One
I can see how
success.
many. One more, so 2 total.
2 total. So it's a little bit confusing because you can see and you heard all these variations of Chris. But you're fairly sure there was a kid, and like you said, like a little while ago, and you thought they moved away, but the rumor was that perhaps that they'd got a scholarship somewhere else, or when their parents, like, as you literally, like, so many different suggestions of why Chris had gone, and that some of them are quite like, their parents passed away and they were put into foster care. Their parents split up and they went to live with somebody in the mountains. Their parents, all as a big happy family. Like, there's so much gossip and stuff around it. But you remember this kid, Chris. Maybe they did theater as well, and you're like, oh, they were good on the sort of lighting rig, and I thought they moved away. That sort of. But you know them,
Chris.
But there's a level of, you can't put your finger on the reason they left.
We should take them out of here, right? And he looks to the rest of you.
Chris, would you like to come with us? Do you want help?
Chris looks panicked. As it's very, very close to the end of the session, we're going to do something called extended trouble, right? which is a montage. Everybody's going to get a roll, a montage of how we deal with this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So collectively, to get the best ending possible, and this be a happy film, we need 12 successes collectively.
Okay.
Yeah, 12 successes.
Fingers crossed for ET.
Yeah. Ordinarily, like if we had a little bit more time, I would perhaps negotiate the things that would happen. But what we need to do here is convince Chris to leave, perhaps disable whatever it is they're using to view the things, and sever their sort of connection to them. And then perhaps convince somebody to perform some medical care, because they're not particular. So we've got to convince some grown-ups of that kind of thing. And we can work around it. So we're going to need some sort of charm roll from somebody, some sort of tinker or perhaps just smash it up roll, some sort of discover roll to find out what we're going to smash up. Maybe another lead role to have somebody do some support us, an adult, like not ask questions. What do folks think that in this kind of situation they can contribute to the extended trouble?
I have an idea, and I want to use my shame.
Excellent.
Okay, I wanted to do charm with Chris to try to convince them to come with us. I want to like go in the general direction and like go down to their level and pull out the sunglasses, like talk to them, and like, so when Jasper takes out the sunglasses, his eyes are like gray and lifeless, so you can see that he's very much blind. And he talks to the kid and goes like, I know what it's like to be vulnerable and to need help, and it's okay, and we can help you right now. So like extends a hand and goes like, come with us and we will find a way.
Wow.
It's okay.
So we've got 1 success from Jasper.
And then I have like 8 dice.
Yep.
That's my idea.
Okay, so you roll your dice. Don't tell us the number.
Oh, gods.
What else?
God.
What else are we going to do? How else is we contributing? We've definitely got a minimum of 1 success.
If someone points Treasure to something to smash, Treasure can do the smashing.
Okay, so in some way, Treasure is going to like wait as a team player. She's going to wait for the right person to say this. Okay.
Yeah, can I actually jump in and help out there? So I'm wondering if I can use investigate to look at all the tech that's attached to Chris, and maybe even use my shame by saying, oh, okay, so it seems like there's actually a neural cortex interface here, and it seems to be interfering with the meninges layer. And so maybe if you pull it,
that he's clever.
yes.
He's a nerd.
Yes, we have a nerd.
I was so worried we didn't have one.
Excellent. All right. So Alexander's gonna nerd, and with the assistance, the jock is gonna help a nerd and not beat the nerd up. Excellent. Alexander, make Alexander's roll for him. Make Treasure's roll for them. Kenneth.
I would like to make an empathize roll. And this could potentially be, if we like, since we're definitely going to get Chris out because Jasper has got a guaranteed success on bringing Chris with us, try and convince a grown-up to give them medical attention and not go wild, not sort of panic and call every single authority in the town.
working on like Kenneth's sort of hippie, pagan, Celtic kind of things, we perhaps know a druid or someone
Yeah.
who will administer some sort of herbal folk, but also slightly science-backed medicine.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so you're going to make an empathize roll because you don't want them to call the cops or social services or any sort of stuff. And Roger, shift leader.
I will roll lead actually.
Okay.
Just to like oversee, manage.
So you're directing folks. You're like, okay, we've got to do this. You need to talk, that kind of stuff. All right. So
Yeah.
you make your lead roll as well. And then we're going to start with Jasper. We'll start with Roger. Because Roger's got the plan here. Roger's worked it out.
2 successes.
2 successes. Then Jasper, how many extra successes did you get?
I get 2 extra successes plus
All
my
right.
shame 1.
So we're on 5.
Oh God.
Alexander, how many successes did you get?
2, including my shame.
7. Kenneth,
I just got 1.
you got 1 to help on Jasper's mobile phone. And Treasure, how many did you get?
3.
Ah.
Okay. So it's almost perfect, right? It's almost perfect. We talk. Chris initially doesn't want to leave. They are beholden to this system. They're too panicked to make an actual choice. But in this one moment, they put the choice in Jasper's hands. Jasper chooses that they will leave. As they're going, Alexander's like, no, wait, and points to this. We follow these sticky lines that we've unplugged from parts of Chris down into the basement, where we're Treasure, who we haven't noticed, but she's potentially been carrying her hockey stick around with her all evening, just lays loose on, and it looks like banks upon banks of computers with these strange degradation growths feeding into big VCR copiers, which then lead upstairs, and we just go hell for leather. It looks like it powers down, and out on the edge of the park, this sort of like biodiesel VW pulls up. Somebody gets out and they like wave at Kenneth. There's this brief moment. This chap maybe hangs like a sage thing around Chris's shoulders, and we bundle into the van. It moves off down the highway, and moves off into towards town, and we can hear like folks chatting. Chris sort of talking about how hard it is to make their choices by themselves, and they're very glad to have met everybody. And the camera pulls back 10 seconds, I promise. Camera pulls back to the venue where we think, and we watch video echoes of all of you leave, but Chris walk back inside. So we almost save, but also, and then as the camera kind of pans up, we watch you all walk away somewhere else. Some of you walk away with Chris, some of you walk different t-shirts, different jackets, different shirts. And that's Things from the Flood, folks.
Yo!
What?
Whoa!
That's Things from the Floods, folks. We're going to get out the way because there are more folks coming soon. But thank you very much for playing with me. Thank you very much for donating. We've run out of time. Please come and find all of these wonderful cast members on Twitter and so folks. But thank you. I love you all.
Thank you.